This is a Munisee broadcast. Code Red, here we are. Pick up your iPads, your cell phones, and hand me and listen to Uncle the Podcast. Watch out. If you're sitting down for this, or if you're standing up, you better get ready for this, because it's gonna hit the eardrums. Uncle the Broadcast.
You are listening to Uncle the Broadcast. My name is Aaron. I'm the nephew-in-law, and here with me is the star of the show, Uncle.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We're back on a Friday night, and we're at 131 episode.
Yeah, that sounds correct to me.
It is correct. I know it's in my head.
Live every Friday night.
Every Friday night, so hit the phone calls. And what is the number there, Sidekick?
Okay, the number to call us here live is 319-527-5016. That's our permanent number for now, so call in any Friday when we start the show at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Ochelli.com.
Their time. Your time.
Whoever's time is Eastern Time.
That's their time.
Yeah, that's
not
them.
Our time.
That is
our
not
time
us.
is 8.
Our time, yeah, it's only 8 o'clock here. Hey, it's early for us.
Yeah, early, so.
So, yeah, earlier in the first hour when it was Transresistor Radio, just me here, I got 2 calls in at the number here. We got callers at 319-527-5016. We hope that somebody will call this hour and have some questions for Uncle.
Yeah, right. Get them ringing those phone calls in, and you got the Uncle Show on air right now. So, Who's the first caller? Hello, first caller, please. What are you yelling, man, Sidekick?
There was a caller we were talking to at the very, very end of Transresistor Radio named Alan. I don't believe he's still there. Is he there, Chuck? Is he still there?
No, he is not on the line at the moment. But if Alan wants to call back in, man, by all means, call back in and have a conversation with Uncle. I would look forward to that. So please call back in, Alan, if you like, and anybody else. Like Aaron was saying, 319-527-5016. That is the number to call, and you can be part of the live show as you hear. Of course,
you can hear me talk.
If you're getting the podcast later, you can't call in. But if you're listening to the live show, you can. So there it is. Your opportunity is in front of you. Embrace it. Seize the day. Okay.
Very good. I like that advice. Yeah, and if you're listening to Uncle the Podcast in podcast form, the idea of calling in some Friday night can at least be there. So write down that number and make a point to listen to this live on a Friday night and call in sometime. It would be like, a little mark your calendar for a day. Let's tell them this in the first hour too, Uncle. Is that a good idea?
Sounds good. Well, at least now they got the idea of the number. So now they're in their heads. They got the number. Let's call them in. And then they'll call in if they want to have another conversation.
Uncle, the Ochelli.com radio network now has 2 new shows. You know about this, right?
I heard Matt was on the hour on Tuesday.
Yeah, he has a show the first Tuesday of every month. Yeah.
I'm not sure if he has any clothes yet.
I don't know.
I'm trying to get back with him to ask him a couple questions.
Mm-hmm. Listeners to this show will know that when we had Jeffrey on the show, Jeffrey Matt on Uncle the Podcast, he was describing in great detail his many issues.
And it were issues. I mean,
Canada.
Serious issues. This guy think it was a funny issue, but I don't think so.
It's not easy living in Canada.
No, guys needs clothes.
And then, of course, straight from the streets is Pierce Redmond with Porkins Policy Radio.
Porkins Policy. I hear him. He had it Tuesday. Oh, boy, he's busy. Tuesday seems to be busy there, Chuck.
Yeah, that is a busy day.
Tuesday, his one, and then they got their guy, and then he has Matt.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait a minute. How do you want 3 people at one time there, Chuck? I'd like to know that question.
Different times of day, Uncle, because Jeffrey's only going to be once a month, but he'll be 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern. Pierce, it runs from 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern, and my show is 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern. So I run one after the other with an hour break. That's what I do.
I was wondering how that worked.
Yep.
That's 6 full hours of entertainment on Tuesdays, Uncle.
Yeah, that three. Tuesday, that's a killing night and day for him.
Yeah.
Working in, and then he got just for Friday. But he's got 3 days to recuperate before we start talking.
Yeah, he needs that.
3 days where all I do is my show. No big deal there. So it's okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But Fridays are just as important, and it starts at 8 p.m. Eastern and ends at 10 p.m. for me as a host. But then 10 p.m. Eastern to 12 a.m. on the East Coast of what we used to call America, you get the combination of Trans Resistor Radio Live and Uncle the podcast. Really is Uncle the Broadcast if you're hearing it live on Fridays. So there you go.
Mm-hmm. There we go. Big changes going on here at Ochelli.com Radio Network. Exciting, right. Uncle.
Yeah, it sounds interesting.
Yeah, so much happening.
To get these people from work to start calling in. If you guys want to hear me, you better call on, get those numbers down. Get on your balls and start calling.
We know they're listening.
I'm yelling at my workers now.
Yeah.
But
give them a hard time.
I'm giving them a hard time. Nobody seemed to want to come and talk.
Do they ever respond to you when they see you at work or wherever, like, oh, sorry, we haven't called yet, or anything like that?
No, I haven't heard that. That's what I'm surprised at. I'm surprised at that. That's why I'm at. In fact, I was talking to a student today, and I mentioned about my broadcast, but I first answered as she listened, and she said, no, I don't. Okay, then. I just mentioned.
Not a broadcasting
Not
fan,
a broadcast time. So okay. I had one student I'd like to talk to. Mm-hmm. We got to get those stamps.
Got to get those cards.
Get those cards out.
PrintTechUSA.com.
I could even give her one to show her, and she might have changed her mind, but you never know.
Mm-hmm.
Just looking at my face. You know how that goes.
We'll get those made up. But, Uncle, I feel I have to do this. I have to put you to task. I have to run you through the ringer here if you don't mind. Are you ready for this?
What is this?
I'm going to throw a challenge your way.
Who is it?
I'm going to ask you, and this is a test because you knew this was coming. Yeah. I'm going to ask you if you know what my name is.
Oh.
Do you remember?
Aaron?
Yes. Okay.
Fonz.
Yes.
Aaron Fonz. I'm getting the A down.
Good. Well done.
Well, now we had a little problem here with my name, with the name problems. I've told everybody don't know names to faces, and that they still don't believe me. Now I'm starting to do the names.
Yes. I'm just trying to keep your mind fresh, making sure you know where you are or who you're talking to.
I heard your name on there when you said it in the beginning.
Okay, good. We're just trying to make sure everything's okay, and you passed the test with flying colors.
Right.
I'm happy to report that. Yeah. Okay, so we made it through that hump. Thank goodness. I'm trying to think what's been going on, Uncle. What are we missing out there? It's
we're missing people. I mean, I understand you got the people, you got the number, you got everything set properly, but the people. You had to. It's very nice. That's very good for your
the callers. Your
callers were good. I mean,
they were good.
I never had as soon as seen you ever had a callers on your hours, but they always jump on my hours. But now they're moving over to your hours, and now I'm getting the hours. I mean, getting people.
You sound like the people at work that are part-time and they don't get enough hours. Like hours.
Right.
Hours.
And then they complain and say. Somebody looked today. Matter of fact, yesterday, they were asking about something on their check. I don't know what that was about.
Probably had something to do with those hours.
I don't know, but they were yapping about that.
You don't have enough hours.
I didn't have much money in this past week because, and they did give me the sick day off.
Good.
And but the actually taking that sick day, it wasn't very much. I'm like 12. It wasn't very much.
Are you talking about you have 12 hours accumulated of sick time? Is that what you mean?
No, cash.
Oh.
It wasn't.
Oh, they gave you $12.
it wasn't a good amount.
Oh.
I mean, the hours, you gave me the sick time, but the hours, I didn't have money hours this past week. So I figured we'd talk about that.
Time just keeps rolling by, and as it does, more and more hours just keep accumulating.
Right.
You
And
ever
I only
notice
can
that?
do 20 hours a day. Now, for me, 20 hours is plenty.
For what, a day?
For me, because I have this problem.
Oh, you're talking
with
about
the-
working a week. Yes. of
Yeah, the
course.
working week.
Gotcha.
Dean.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the working week.
So a 20-hour work week. is
20-hour
your limit.
work week is plenty for me. Thanks. I was actually got to get me up because I was a little tired today. Get you out of this hour.
I just woke you up again.
Yeah, because it was just the year is going fast.
Mm-hmm.
The students this graduation is the 18th, and I'll probably be my last day will probably be the 16th of May.
Okay.
I have a feeling it will be because Friday I won't come into that day.
Then
Because
you
of
got
slow.
the break over the summer.
Some break over summer will come.
Where
Yeah.
you will be able to collect unemployment monies at that time, will you not?
Probably will.
That's pretty good.
We'll come back again now since I'm off that other job.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah.
It's not bad. Yeah.
So,
You got a pretty good setup there at Chapman University. It's a pretty
Yeah.
good, the way things operate, good job, and even that summer break where even some money still comes in. Pretty good.
it's just what I'm paying for the train ride.
The train.
That's the only thing. And she splits it. Your wife and me split it. She had it this week. I'll have it next week.
We were talking about Los Angeles transportation in the previous hour, Uncle. We got trains here. It's not just cars. There's actually trains that the people who live here don't even know about the train.
Oh.
A lot of people don't know about that. You know that, Uncle? The trains?
Half the people, if they don't know about them, but how come half the time we can't find a parking space? Hamlin was for the parking space. Well, when we get to the train station, now, first of all, you need a sticker. Go on this personal area spot where you can sit down and find the sticker. So I'm grabbing the sticker on the car. Nana want to use the van. I have to take it out of there, put it on the car. Well, if she would need the car, I have to move the sticker. So the sticker causes where you can park.
It allows you to park in a certain spot.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
It says that
That's
on
nice.
the roof. But half the people, they sit there without a sticker, and I understand why the policemen don't stop them. But there's a reason why. For that reason, I don't understand what it is, but there's a reason for it.
Yeah, the security guard's unable to
Security
do
guard
anything
can't do
really to
anything,
enforce that
just-
rule.
Yeah. And we had a couple of sheriffs on the train. I had one on this morning,
Oh, yeah.
and I had one on. Two of them on this afternoon.
Yeah,
So they were on there again.
that's right. The sheriffs come
They're
through.
they're back on again. They're checking. Oh,
Yeah, I mean, some crazy stuff can happen on a train.
well,
no doubt about it.
I never heard of them for 2 times in a row. But there's a lady sheriff, and a man sheriff this afternoon. And this morning there was only a lady sheriff in the morning.
Yeah.
So
The train we take from out here that goes from Riverside into Los Angeles is one thing, but when I was living in Long Beach and I would leave from the transit center in downtown Long Beach and go north into Los Angeles, that was the Blue Line Metrolink train, and that was quite an experience. Every single time I would ride that, there's always something going on in that train, I can tell you.
what, argument?
Just,
Just standing around and just talking.
It's an interesting crowd. It's a rough crowd a lot of times, and there's always just some sort of wild stuff going on that train. It's fun, but it's also quite crazy.
Well, I figured we ever go back there.
Long Beach?
No, was it Long Beach? Oh, I was thinking Los Angeles.
Oh yeah, Los
I mean, if we
yeah.
could go back to Los Angeles and
Yeah.
seen some kind of activity, if they ever have it anymore, I'd
Well-
like to go really see
We'll be back.
some more stuff there because that seemed that Hollywood Road was very interesting to me.
Hollywood Boulevard?
I like that road. I don't know why, but I go down that road.
Avenue of the Stars.
Actors and the stars are all over the place. I mean, how can you not be so excited going down Hollywood Boulevard in Los Angeles and expect to see all these people on the television? I mean, that seemed crazy. To me, I thought that would be nuts.
I took a picture of the Jack Valenti star for Tom Secker and sent it his way. He was very happy to get that.
Oh, you mean the one that we took out there when we were walking?
Yeah, on the Avenue of the Stars with all the names of the people on the stars. They have the opening ceremony where the person lays it down there in the street. There's all the different ones. Of course, the Donald Trump one famously being pickaxed many times over. And we got a photo with you right by the Chuck Norris star.
Yeah.
When we went up there, that was fun.
Yeah, that one.
That's a good one.
But these people that haven't heard any more stars that come out to go to do a broadcast in Los Angeles anymore. I haven't.
Yes.
I'm getting
we went to see. Well, you know what? I think we've told this story before, but it is a good one.
I know.
Both of those things that we went there to see, in a sense, are now defunct. One of them being the venue, Meltdown Comics.
Yeah, I sure like that place. I don't know why it went down.
That place was on Sunset Boulevard.
Sunset, yeah.
Well-known comic shop that went under, so that's gone now. So that venue, the Nerd Melt venue, that they had nearly nightly entertainment there. That's gone now. And also the show that we went to was a live presentation of the Mixed Feelings podcast.
That was there.
That was there. Yeah, they recorded that live, and they had a guest who was local, and that was a lot of fun. And the Mixed Feelings podcast is also they don't do new episodes anymore. They're done. One of the girls from that, I think her name is Cassie, I want to say, she has a new one. I think it's called Friend Time Pod. She just started that up.
You mean the girls are not talking no more?
They don't do their show, the Mixed Feelings podcast, anymore.
I may have to take it off my phone. I didn't know about this.
It's now Friend Time Pod with one of them and then this other girl. So I haven't given that a listen yet, but I
have to see what that. I don't even have it on my phone. I have the other one.
Those girls are real social media aficionados, and they were able to grow their audience quite a bit using those tools in a fashion which is quite unlike us. We are quite terrible at doing that, I will say.
I mean, but what we have to do, take an example to them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But of course, they do a language problem. I don't know me. I don't want to do the language. But I've noticed by them, they do a lot of language problem, because I was going into that conversation talking about languages on a broadcast. Man, I never heard of a woman argue that much before. Unless they were arguing. I mean, but that's ridiculous.
Yeah. Mature audiences only, please.
Yeah. I mean, that's known for the kids to listen to. I mean, but I like to push for a family to watch a program. And that, my standpoint, is to watch the whole family history with no language problems.
I don't know. Maybe that's how they got so many followers, is that they the language had an appeal to it. Maybe that brought the people in.
Well,
you ever think of that?
Yeah, I thought of that, but then it would eliminate some other things if I did.
Well, I'm not saying that we need to do it. I'm just saying that, maybe I'm just trying to see what the road to success is. I want to see what kind of pavement it's made out of.
Right. So we have to know what's bringing the people to them, and that sounds like it. I mean, from what you said.
Yeah.
So
it's tough. It's tough being a content creator.
I mean, I just can't figure what to do. Well, the next move would be.
It's like a chess game.
Yeah, that's right. When we go out on the road, like, what's his name?
Mm-hmm.
Here, have a talk and all this kind of people. And here I am on the street.
Yeah, take it to the streets. That's always
to
good.
The street, and boom.
Well, we have our list of ideas. I still have to go to the sword store. I haven't even done that, Uncle.
The store.
I'm going to go to the sword store. I just haven't.
So the sword store. Now that place,
sword shop.
I want to see if what can develop in that.
People, please support your local sword shop. If you're not doing that,
yeah,
we know there's one in your mall wherever you live. Get out there and show some support and buy a katana blade from the sword shop. So
and
they
if
stay.
you do that, you might have a big surprise if we can get my sidekick out there and start doing some work.
Yeah.
To talk to these people.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Uncle, you know I'm an advocate for sword stores.
I know, and I know you're into this kind of business that would move the system.
Funny
move
business.
the thing. Sending it with his friend Adam. He ever get to talk to.
We are in touch. We actually have been emailing each other. We had a lull there for a while. We're both still alive, thank goodness.
Yes?
Yeah, we're doing fine.
Oh,
we're both a bit busy.
What he's been doing.
We live that. I don't want to sit here complaining about the time difference again because I've done it enough. It's difficult, but we are in planning for new themes and memes. So we're
working on that.
Yeah.
Well, that's good news. It's nice to get something else. I mean, if not for me, for yourself and your friend, you can talk with my sidekick, Chick.
Yeah.
Chuck.
Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers.
Oh, no. Not them again.
Uncle, last weekend I was in Long Beach.
Last weekend.
I'm bringing up Long Beach a bit here.
Why is this Long Beach so in the way for fun reason?
Well, you know that my wife and I lived there for 6 years, right?
Oh, yeah, before you came. Yeah, you were there for 6 years.
Yeah,
and I went in the apartment for a couple of weeks before we
You and Nana first came out. You stayed with us in our place in Long Beach for a month or so. Then we moved into the house in Orange.
Right.
And we lived in Orange for 3 years.
Was it 3?
That was 3 years we were there. That was a little while we were there. Oh. It's hard to remember that, but we were there in that house for 3 years.
I didn't realize how long, but...
The city of Orange, of course, which is in Orange County, California, which it's neighbors both Riverside County that we're in now and Los Angeles County. That Long Beach is in Los Angeles County. I don't think everybody knows that. It's in the southern part of Los Angeles County is Long Beach. The big installation in Long Beach being the port of Long Beach where all the ships come in from China and deliver their goods.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Well,
it's an exciting place to be there. There's a lot going on in Long Beach, Uncle.
Yeah. That's what I hear. I heard that there's a lot of new buildings building up, too. We've gone by. I heard, what's his name is still listening to me.
Sure. Marley
boy.
Our friend Marley, who called in on the New Year's special.
Oh, he did?
He did call in. Maybe listeners remember his call in.
I don't remember.
He was having a fun party and he was checking in with us on the New Year's Revolution.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he did. I remember now. I remember they all were down there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's definitely one of the cast of characters of the Long Beach contingent for sure.
I mean, if we hit him and he could get things rolling for us down there.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to ask if he would get a move when he has the time to bring the people up to us if he won't mind doing it.
You want Marley to bring us people from Long Beach?
In that area. Not who's going on.
You're talking about just to call into the show?
Yeah.
We could probably arrange that. Maybe we should get a hold of him.
Check that out and see if you can get along with him to see if people would like to listen. And I bet you I can get some more people. I mean, what I'm doing for my show is trying to build my calorie up. What Chuck said. Get the calorie up for I can...
Got to build the brand, Uncle.
That was it. The brand of bringing it up. So that's what I'm trying to do. My idea for the new revolution.
Yeah.
I believe it's going to be that.
Okay.
So I'm going to keep pushing.
Brand building.
That's the word. Building. I'm trying to build that up.
You know what's interesting? One of my friends I hadn't seen in a long time, one of my Ohio friends that I saw when I was in Long Beach last weekend, he was he actually lives in Wisconsin now, but he was in Los Angeles to do a seminar of sorts. So he was like at one of these like 4-day conferences where a guru type person gives presentations, and the subject matter, I think, was empathy marketing, which he was describing it to me. And it made sense. I'm trying to encapsulate it here quickly. It's basically like the idea is to give people who have trouble marketing or have trouble making it in the business world, or just, the world of making money, that people with talent who are good and have something to offer but have trouble making it financially and professionally, they require empathy marketing.
They do?
I guess so.
I never heard of that.
Sounds like something we might need, Uncle.
Well, I will have to push on that. Try to do that. Well, you got some idea. Some of these friends will probably give us some ideas to know what we could do next.
Maybe we should have that guru empathy marketer guy on the show here to give us some ideas.
Yeah, I think we should ask, wait a minute, sidekick Chuck, to if we can get in touch with these guys and see what he thinks.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe I'll get back in touch with my friend. He'll give me all the details again. He was very enthused about it, to say the least. So
get back with him and let me know what's going on.
Yeah.
So you can talk to your friends to give me the information, and then if it goes through me, we can have them on. Because I enjoy to have, like you can, a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm just bring them over to me.
Bring them in.
Just bring them in, and we'll have a good conversation with them.
That's
all you have to do. Talk to your friends and do that.
Uncle, do you know that Paul McCartney song where that hook is, let me in, somebody's knocking the door.
I heard that one.
Yeah, that song.
Knocking the door.
It's horrible. I really dislike Paul McCartney's music.
Well, wait a minute. Paul McCartney, it was Paul McCartney and Michael Jackson.
Yes, they had a big feud.
There was one of them like that, just like you were singing.
Oh, they had a duet or something?
Yes, they did. I remember. Yes, they did.
It was called Say, Say, Say.
That's it. Say, say, say.
Okay, yeah.
See, I know those songs. Is that what you're trying to think of?
I don't think that was this song. No, Michael Jackson wasn't on this one.
But it was.
This was a solo
say.
McCartney work.
Oh,
but yeah, they were buddies. They were good buddies in the 80s. I want to say.
But that's what he played when they were so buddies. They were playing that song. Say, say, say. Just like.
I'm gonna have to look that one up on YouTube or something.
Yeah, look it up. 'Cause I know it's there. You look it up. You see it.
I know that piece of garbage, Ebony and Ivory, with Stevie Wonder.
Yeah, that one too.
Oh my Lord!
What's wrong with that?
Say, Say, Say was accompanied by a music video of Paul McCartney and Michael Jackson going into a town as like old style medicine salesmen, selling the magic elixir in a bottle. Aaron, you'll love that video if you find it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking that one up.
Look that up, because I know I've heard it too. I've heard it a couple of times.
Wow.
I don't know what's wrong with you and liking not McCarthy, Mother McCarthy, by the way.
Well, I enjoyed the Beatles. I can get into the Beatles. That's fine. But
I don't understand. I don't understand. You don't like.
I do
that
not
certain
like,
one guy.
I do not. No, I don't.
I don't understand. My point is, I just don't understand. But because he's a Beatle, I can understand. But not him being a solo artist, you wouldn't like him. That's what it's sounding like to me.
I do not appreciate his solo work.
Solo work.
I got to say, okay, there's a couple that I like. Let's see here. There's Live and Let Die.
Live and Let Die with all the Beatles songs.
I like that song. I like Live and Let Die.
Live and Let Die.
That I enjoy.
And there's another one that he made for the Beatles.
Well, he's got like what? Hey Jude.
Hey June. Right? I sort of like that.
I'm not a fan of that one.
You don't like that?
No, that
was an old one I liked.
That's officially a Beatles song, I believe, recorded as a Beatles song, but written by him. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Hey Jude. I don't know, Uncle. I don't like the music, and he strikes me as kind of a jerk too. I don't know. Not that really matters when it comes to the music. I mean, the music is the music, but he's just kind of annoying. I don't know. It doesn't seem that cool to me.
Maybe it's that one certain Beatle you never did like.
Not my favorite.
I mean,
Beatle.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Mm-mm.
It's one certain Beatle he didn't like.
I mean, you listen to the solo work of John Lennon. I love it.
Well, he had more of the voice of it, and he can hear himself to John Lennon, and put him, John Lennon, and him together.
Yeah, yes, Lennon and McCartney.
John Lennon would flow him over. I understand that. He would kill it in competition. I mean, but so I can see where you're going with this. Don't like the guy. Where I can understand that.
Not a fan.
You know what the problem is, Uncle? You know what the problem is? That sometimes musicians, because Aaron is a musician, right? Sometimes musicians
that's true.
just
I forgot about that.
They have a hatred that just emerges. Something about another musician. Like personally, I can't stand Eric Clapton. I absolutely despise Eric Clapton.
You don't like him?
No, I absolutely can't stand. Like I hate John Bon Jovi too. I hate John Bon Jovi.
You gotta be crazy.
I cannot.
But there's somebody's crazy now.
Listen,
back at him.
Well, John Bon Jovi was in the same music scene as me, and the guy was a punk.
Posey.
Yeah, John Bon Jovi's a punk. I can't stand him.
Bon Jovi, I'm not talking about. I mean, by Eric Clapton is the one I'm talking about.
The most overrated guitarist in music history. Absolutely. Slow hand because he couldn't move any quicker. You forget it. I can't stand it.
Because he does the smaller songs. He does the slower songs. There's certain kind of songs he sings. He can sing them loud. He can sing them fast, and he can sing them slow. I mean, it's just the way he is.
No, I got it. But some musicians, I'm telling you right now, we develop this weird peeve hatred of somebody, and it doesn't matter. And objectively speaking, McCartney's singing chops are on the same level as John Lennon's. They really are objectively. They've got good range. There's a diversity in the sound that they developed as they matured. And they also knew how to harmonize perfectly. You listen to Wings and McCartney and all that stuff. It was well done, and he could pull it off live. You know, it wasn't all just studio magic. Lennon, same thing. He could do stuff live, but he did weird stuff in the studio as well. They were both amazingly produced artists, in addition to the fact that they could both play multiple instruments and all that. They're on par with each other, but for some reason, something got under Aaron's skin as a musician. I guarantee you, and it's like Paul McCartney. You know, to forget him. Which is the same thing with me and Eric Clapton. I can't stand him.
That's what he looks like over here.
Yeah.
Quacking a sidekick over here.
Yeah. As an aside, I never understood this sort of glorification as a guitar virtuoso of Clapton. I mean, he's okay, but I mean, there's better guitar players, definitely. I agree with Chuck there. I mean, he's not bad, obviously, but I mean, it's not like he's Buckethead or anything.
Not like the other guy.
Prince?
No.
Prince is an awesome guitar player.
No, Prince, he's off the chart.
Yeah,
he
awesome.
was off the chart, that guy. I'm talking about the other one.
Guitarist?
The guitarist.
Stevie Ray Vaughan?
Are you thinking Jimi Hendrix?
No.
You're
Frampton.
Oh, Peter Frampton.
Frampton. I was confused between him and Eric Clapton because my brother-in-law kept saying, this guy's better than him. And I was going back and forth between those two, talking about a guitarist. Those are the two I was fighting over. Which are the best ones? So I had to listen to both of them.
The funny thing with Frampton is people always thought that on that Do You Feel Like I Do song, that where he gets his guitar to talk, they thought that he somehow could play the guitars with his fingers and make it talk when he's just using like a vocoder attached to it. but for some reason, this idea was that he could somehow make the guitar talk with his skill. Then for some reason, the idea that he was just using a vocoder wasn't there. I don't know.
Whereas Joe Satriani can.
Yeah. Well, those are the...
He can make the guitar talk?
Joe Satriani can do some stuff with a guitar I don't understand.
There was another one that could do it, too.
Yeah.
Jimi Hendrix.
Of course.
At his prime.
Yeah, at Hendrix. I mean,
he was like cleaning it up like...
Yeah,
Whoa.
His skill is undisputed. No, nobody's contesting that.
Again, from outer space, if you take a listen to some of that stuff, like Voodoo Child, like you listen to the different ways it was played live and everything, and the stuff he did on Electric Ladyland. I mean, how do you even put Eric Clapton in that category with this guy? I don't get it. I just don't get it. But Peter Frampton was very cool. Weird thing about Peter Frampton is he didn't really have much of a career outside of the fact that I don't know. I think they issued one of those Frampton Comes Alive albums to everybody who was in the suburbs. I don't know, in the 1970s and 80s. It was like just one of the things that came with your house, I think, because everybody had one. And it was a double record, and that's what he was known for. But meanwhile, his long-term career not so good, and probably because when he was a huge rock star, he did a remake of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Heart Club Band as a movie. And if you want to see a disaster on film, go find that one, Aaron. I mean, you would find it fascinating as sort of in the way a horror movie buff likes Ed Wood. It's that bad, with the Bee Gees being part of the Sgt. Pepper's thing. I mean, really, it's really bizarre. Totally bizarre stuff. Anyway, I'm sorry. I just figured to throw that in there.
Of course, we got to listen to the sidekick here. He plays his guitar, and he's combinating other people's guitars. I know what's going on here.
Well,
this is what it's sounding like.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not claiming that I'm good in any way, shape, or form. I just like to mess around on guitar. I'm not claiming to be even a guitarist. I just like to goof around and do stuff.
That's the other thing. My brother-in-law always had a good guitar sound and voice.
He's a good guitar player.
He has the way to do it. But you have to be born with it. The problem, what are you laughing at? It's true. What are you laughing at, sidekick?
I don't hold that opinion, Uncle.
But no. It's just, I've listened to him. Believe me, I've listened to him when he was doing it then. To the interesting, I can analyze you and him together.
Yeah. Okay.
You would be compared to what he did it.
It's because when he was a baby, he came out
and he learned it, and you have to be with it. You have to start it when you were small.
You have to be born with a guitar pick in your hand.
Right.
Well, no, but
that's what it is. Yeah.
See, what
I'm just saying.
You're not. It's not. I think I'm misunderstanding you because.
You have to be exactly what the word is.
You just have to practice it.
You got to practice, and you got to be born with it.
Well,
when you start with guitarists, now I got to tell you something, sidekick.
Tell me.
Just like he's telling you. I'm trying to tell you because I listen to the guy, and I can hear a guitarist sing. Okay. I ain't wrong. I can understand what a guitarist sings at. He, when they're practicing, they're good. And you just got to have the way to do it when you start.
Well,
but you had to start, like you're saying. I understand you're trying. Not only one, you're trying. What are you laughing about, sidekick? But it's you have to be born with it.
The
ears.
Oh, the ears.
The ears. You gotta have it in the ears. That's what it is. It's in the ears.
It is.
That's it.
It's all
you
in the
gotta be. You got. Am I right there?
Gotta have that ear.
Chuck?
You know what? I get your point, Uncle, and here's what it is.
See?
You got to have a knack for it to begin with, but on top of it, Okay, I'll give you the perfect example. You've heard of Zak Wylde, I'm sure, Aaron.
Oh yeah,
and I know Uncle's heard Zak Wylde's music, whether he knows it or not.
Yeah, I probably did.
Now, this guy started out as like a guitarist in Jersey in a band called Xyrus, right? But you knew right away that this guy was something special as a musician. As soon as you saw or heard that band live, you knew that it's like the talent's in the guitar right there. And the thing is, he was born with something, yes, but also most of these great guitarists, they spend a lot of time in a basement or an attic or a room all by themselves, just over and over, just playing hours and hours till their fingers bleed. That's what they do, and it pays off.
That's the point I'm trying to get to.
I think the point you're trying to make, Uncle, is the earlier in life you start making your fingers bleed, the better you'll be at guitar later.
Well, there you answered it. Yeah. That's exactly what I was trying to get to your point.
As a child, you have to start.
Yeah, that's where
ideally.
I'm not saying stop this and start playing guitar, but I'm saying, but if that's what you like to do once in a while, fine.
I did play an instrument at a fairly young age. In 4th grade, I started playing saxophone. I played through middle school, so I have played an instrument at least, so I have that going for me. But yeah, no, if I would have started playing guitar very early, it would be very helpful. Yeah, and that's why I'm not that proficient at guitar.
Yeah, I can see that though, because I'm a very good listener when you listen to music on a guitar.
Yeah,
because you could see, I could give you, you can guess Kathy, for example. She'll tell you. Oh, he'd been listening when we were doing the fish work. Monday mornings, I was outside doing my work. Hear him in the house, constantly playing.
So you have an ear too, but it's a different kind of ear.
Correct. It's the ears that you can hear, but I don't have the ears for the music.
Sounds like a product.
For me.
Sounds like a product slogan. It's the ears you can hear.
I do have the ear to hear a guitarist. Hello?
It's like somebody who knows how to record an artist but doesn't know how to play the instruments. There's an art to that. So he knows what sounds good, and he knows what sounds like talent. I think that's what you're getting at. And an amazing thing about this, right, is just staying in the same genre, Aaron, real quick, is a guy who was from California, Randy Rhoads, right? His life was cut short, as we know, in 1982. But, when the plane crashed. But, and interesting how these guys often die in plane crashes. But the fact is that, his mother was a music teacher. He had instruments laying around as toys when he was a toddler. And that's, and he picked up all kinds of instruments. Randy could play all sorts of stuff, but he loved that guitar. So he gravitated toward the guitar, and you could hear it in his music. You could hear classical stuff. You could hear blues. I mean, the guy could literally double and atonally juxtapose things in 2-3 takes, which is absolutely insane. The way that you do this in a recording studio. I mean, have you ever worked in a professional recording studio, Aaron?
No, I've never worked in one.
Recorded in one or done work in one.
That's
not professional. I mean, I've had friends who've had recording studios, but not a big time professional one though.
I've been inside of some really good ones, and I've watched people work, and I worked in one, and all that kind of stuff. And I got to tell you, you hear 3 minutes of music. It's hours and hours of recording over and over again to get things exactly right. But Randy Rhoads could lay down stuff in 3 takes, you know, and it was just like, you don't do that without a skill level that's, again, one of those things that was built up over time. So, circumstances change things too, There's been people who do pick up and, with very little practice, just pick up an instrument. Dave Grohl today, right? He was just Nirvana's drummer. And realistically, I mean, Nirvana's drum, stuff was not all that difficult. Let's be frank. Yeah. But the guy had a lot of other musical talents, which he's now shown you through the Foo Fighters and his, development of stuff like Probot and all that. So it's always interesting. So, guys, believe it or not, you're down to your last 10 minutes. So I'm going to shut up. And we didn't get any callers. I'm a little disappointed with you guys listening out there, but we didn't get any live callers. I know Uncle's not happy about that. Come on, guys.
I'm not. I'm not.
Right. So I'm going to let you guys wrap everything up, but I think this was a fascinating discussion about music and how Uncle
I
sees
figured
stuff.
to hit the music scene. You figured because he wanted to have, because he started with the guitarist, and I figured let's talk about that because it seems to be I didn't have anybody on.
Here, I'll just throw this out here real quick. We're on guitarists. Not sure if you knew this, Chuck, but at the end of his life, Jeff Hanneman had a home out here in the Inland Empire of California in Hemet. He was living in Hemet in a house out there. It's not too far from here. So I just recently realized that. So that was kind of cool. You can see pictures of his house, and it's like, oh, cool. I know that he would wear the motorcycle gear on stage, and I'm guessing his home in Hemet allowed him to ride dirt bikes all over the place. It's a very popular activity out here in the Inland Empire.
Wow.
So just a little piece of Slayer trivia or whatever.
Well, we had to say something, so I figured that. But
we had to say something.
Well, we have our last one's couple reports, sports report for you, Chuck. What's to talk about is the fourth, the
NCAA basketball.
The basketball championship is coming up.
You know what, Uncle?
Final
Four
Uncle? Starts this weekend.
Uncle,
yes?
forget the Final Four. You know what? I don't even want to know about it. You know why? Because every week I've heard you miss your shout-outs, and you go, what, we don't get to do shout-outs? You got the time right now, and I want to give you the chance to do your shout-outs because, that's the thing. You got to say thanks to the Patreon members who are supporting.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Right? And you got to...
Yeah, that's right. I'm forgetting what's that.
Well, no, I'm just saying. I want to hear that because I think that maybe that'll help you get some calls. Maybe that'll help you get some calls. What do you think,
Okay,
Aaron?
that sounds all right. All right, then. Well, assume the shout-outs.
Shout-outs.
Shout-out hour. This is a shout-out hour. The shout-out to everybody that haven't listened yet. This is the Uncle of the Broadcast to have everybody shout out to what they want to talk to about next Friday.
There you go. Everybody who hasn't even listened, shout out to you.
To shout out. These are the shout-outs tonight.
All you people who aren't listening now and haven't listened before, shout out to you.
This is a shout out to you all.
That's right.
I'm just saying to you all, and you know who you all are.
Uncle, if a podcast falls in the woods, does anybody hear it?
Not unless they got ears.
And you, the listener right now, are you not following Uncle the Podcast on Twitter? You need to do that. Uncle the Podcast is
on Twitter.
There we go.
That's like you said on Sidekick.
We're on Instagram, of course, too. Everybody,
Instagram.
That beloved social media platform.
Socialmedia.com.
Yep. We're on there.
So we have to have people listening.
Follow us.
Advocate
and you
for all us. Get a kick out of my voice talk. I'm calling it, the new thing is voice talk.
Okay.
That is my new sign kick now. It's going to be side sword talk.
Side sword talk.
Side sword talk.
Uncle, you're a regular Steve Jobs.
Here. I am trying to get some kind of talking to build it up to people that will get on the air and start talking.
Here's something we're really excited about.
What's that?
We call it voice talk.
Voice talk. That was the word.
We really think you're going to love this. See, I'm doing my Steve Jobs here, Uncle.
That sounds interesting.
See, we got to really sell these ideas. Not that you aren't. You absolutely are. I'm just jumping on board with these wonderful things that you are selling.
Right. So they've heard it from the Sidekick.
Mm-hmm.
So now I have to try to listen to you people for next Friday. Yep. Let's call that number and let the Chuck boy go crazy with the calls for next Friday.
The number is 319-527-5016. Write it down.
Write it down and put it on a piece of paper or on the head.
Use it next Friday.
Use it for next Friday. talking to the man.
Yeah.
You'll be talking to me, and I'm listening to whoever's on the line.
Uncle, I'm thinking we need to start a street team.
Street team.
Yeah. That's basically the people who are your fans, who you employ to go out there and just spread the word and promote for you.
Good idea. Let's have that doing, too.
Become a part of the Uncle Street team.
Uncle's Street team. That'd be a good sign signal. We got to get it moving. Let's get moving, people.
Make nice posters, brightly colored posters. Go down to Kinko's.
Put the sign up and say, listen to this guy on Friday night.
Yeah, it's like
that's all you have to say. Look at the picture. Ooh, we can listen to that guy. Look at that guy's face.
Yeah, take the Uncle the Podcast logo, put it on posters,
and let them listen.
Post them up around your neighborhood like your Shepherd Fairy.
Yeah,
like Uncle is Andre the Giant. His face.
Yeah. Me, Uncle the Giant.
We've got ourselves a street team, Uncle. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. There's our new thing now. Street team.
See,
Uncle Street team.
Make Uncle the Street Team, Uncle the Podcast into an art project.
Art project for you people who.
Uncle.
That the regular people, they know who they are.
You are becoming an artist like Banksy as we speak.
It's Banksy? Who's that?
Well, he's the famous street artist. This is how he got his start, is doing something like we're doing right now.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
He's a living street team is what he is.
All right, we'll get started. I'll do anything to get started. Let's get started, people.
Be Banksy. Be part of Uncle Street Team. It's called Voice Talk, okay? You're going to love it.
Voice Talk. Ready to talk.
Go to the local Apple store and get Voice Talk on your device, your mobile device. Get it installed so that you can properly enjoy Uncle the Podcast.
Yeah.
And you're going to really be glad that you did do that.
You'll have me be on the talk show, and you can give a test to yourselves. What is your favorite talk person on all your talk shows?
Yeah.
For example,
well,
you can test it and give you judge yourself.
Yeah.
I mean,
share it around on your social media. Share it around
to people.
That's part of being the street team. You share it on social media too.
Yes, social media too.
Social media is a street.
Yeah.
It's not even a one-way street either. It goes any which way.
It's a four-way street.
It is.
It can be a four-way street. Who knows?
Make use of that four-way street.
Right.
It's there for you to use and to spread the good word of Uncle the Broadcast.
Yes, sir.
Uncle, we really made the most of our shout-outs this week.
Well, saying what I said on the shout-outs, that's what it is. I mean, they know who they are.
Makes it all worthwhile.
Shout-outs. I just say it that way to make it short and simple instead of naming them one at a time. It'd be the rest of the hour to try to do that.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, so.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
And thank you for supporting us on Patreon.
Oh, yeah, but Patreon. Thank you for putting on Patreon. Always give that $1. Always give that penny.
Yep.
It would work.
You keep us going.
Keep us moving.
You are the executive producers. Chuck is the producer. You are the executive producers.
The customers.
You're also the customers.
And the customers.
You can be both. It's not mutually exclusive.
Yeah.
That's okay. See, we don't try to pigeonhole people.
All right. How's the chat room doing, by the way? I haven't heard from those guys. They've been too quiet.
Let me reconnect it real quick and
Let's see what's going on there.
Doesn't look like a lot of activity. No, I don't see a lot of activity in the chat room tonight. Sometimes there's a ton. Tonight, there's not much at Ochelli.com, but you're also welcome to join that every week or any time, really.
Any time that week. Because I want to keep in touch with them.
Uncle, what's our website? What's
UnclePodcast.com. Let me clicking basketball, netballs. Oh, what's that?
UncleThePodcast.com. Oh, that's a click from the chat room. Somebody just said, hi, Uncle.
Hi, Uncle. Oh, wait a minute. Who said that?
Anon7828. H, Uncle. Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
See, I get attention. The chat room, I even get their attention.
Anon7828. Join the street team. Join the movement. Become Banksy and be part of Uncle's street team if you could be so kind.
There's another one.
It's Robin. He actually called in the first hour. He was one of the callers that called into Transistor Radio.
What'd he have to say? What's that?
He's making a smiley face emoji character.
Where's he been at?
He's been in the chat room.
She in the chat room again, yeah?
He's lighting it up.
Don't want to talk to the main man.
That would be you.
It's me.
UncleThePodcast.com. Subscribe. Listen.
And that's what it is.
See you next time.
See you next time. Bye-bye.